It's that time. It's Sunday night, and it is time for Herbalations, the show about Jackie and her many strains of greenery.
Our favorite alien is here. Hello, Yakashka.
Yes, we are.
And Max, his better half.
His better half?
I think I meant that backwards. But that's only because apparently Roz understood the assignment. And look at my new profile picture, Max.
You said what? Oh yeah, I seen that. Nice.
Oh, he says he's already smoking and plugged in.
Just surprising. I'm assuming NASCAR ended early.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe our employment with Amazon just did too.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. I finished my row. I got back and my badge did not work.
Uh-oh.
I'll find out Tuesday when I go to work.
Uh-oh. That ain't good.
That's one way to fire somebody. But, wouldn't they tell you?
So I noticed it like when I was coming into RTS, and I asked our manager about it, and he said not that he knew of, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I ain't used to having a badge to get in and out, so.
I mean, you can't go to work without your badge.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there wasn't no paperwork or nothing waiting on me, so I don't know.
That could just be a badge problem, too.
It could be. It was just weird.
Because I know I've worked like in different studios and stuff like that with the little RFID badges. And sometimes they would just like quit working just out of the blue. And then you would have to go in and get it like either a new badge or they'd have to reset your badge or something like that.
It was just weird. Like, oh, okay, evidently y'all don't want your truck back then.
I would have been out there in the parking lot doing donuts, especially if they would have fired me before I got back to the terminal. But like, y'all want to fire me for no reason? I'm going to show y'all.
I'd just be leaving it as far away from the terminal as possible and be like, you know what? See you later then. I'm fired. Pick up your van.
Don't work. I had to go get my car. My car was right there.
Oh, I'm a petty mother trucker. I will call an Uber.
All my homies hate badges.
I currently need badges to get in and out of my workplace.
Badges? We don't need no stinking badges.
Great. I mean, we need a badge, but technically we don't need a badge. Like, you need the badge for stuff, but like, there's a way in without the badge.
Right.
What does the alien think of all of this?
I don't know yet. Hold on, let me confer with him real quick. Whatever happens, happens.
I mean, that's the perfect way to think about it. Because, I mean, part of me is like, I think he's okay with it. I think he's come to terms with it. He's like, nah, you know what? It's time for a new journey.
No, we think we cool. I'm going to take Scott's word. Yeah, I'm going to take Scott's stance and say it was just a badge quit working.
I think that's what it was. Yeah. I don't think it was anything like, malicious or anything. I mean, especially if your manager is like, not that I know of, then I think you're okay. I really think you're okay. If not, I mean, you can use that CDL that you have now to go drive like a real truck.
But see, here's the thing, though. Maybe
I don't have my whoa! I don't got my CDLs. You don't need a CDL to drive the Amazon trucks.
Oh, well, every state has different laws. I know here you have to have at least a type B or C.
So Amazon does have like CDL type trucks, but like the regular Prime vans and like the CDV vans, those aren't CDL, or at least not here in Ohio.
Yeah, I know here you would have to have like class B or C or something like that. CDO.
Oh, schmacks. I know not to come down there and work there.
You don't want to come down here anyway. I don't even want to be down here.
Actually,
I can't stand
no.
this place either.
Actually, no. I gotta go further past Harsh. I already, I kind of got an agenda set.
So basically, Chad's determined that he doesn't want to move to the United States no more. He wants to move to Australia. And he's pretty stuck on it now.
And well, here's the funny thing about moving to Australia, because I know a lot of people there, is that if you have nothing to offer the country, you're not moving there.
Currently, they have a fly-in, fly-out program that they're advertising very, very highly for oil drillers and people that work in the oil and gas industry and mining.
That means he's in demand, which means they'll allow him to stay. But if you're just like, for lack of a better person to compare it to, if you're just like a Joshua Foncannon, which has nothing to offer whatsoever, then Australia will kick you out at the door, basically.
So, the performance recap for the Facebook page of CSHR Radio has just came across my notification bar.
Okay, I'm sorry.
In the last 90 days, CSHR Radio Facebook page has gained 45 new followers. It has generated 85 new posts and 378 reactions.
Woohoo!
The CSHR Radio post of this Beware of Scammers got 4 reactions and 12 replies. Facebook says to keep it going, your followers want to hear from you. Share what's new and start a conversation.
We're starting a conversation here.
We're doing a conversation right now. Shut up, Facebook. Nobody cares.
I'm trying to learn more about Yakashka because we know so much about Max and we never get to meet the alien, and the viewers had requested to meet the alien. I've joined the church of.
See,
if that plastic doll would have started talking, I would have just left the live stream. I would have been like, nah.
So somebody actually thought that he was going to use the text to talk on his computer to make the alien talk.
No, because I got a plan down the line for him. So,
if anyone's wondering about my camera angle, it's because
said it's not time for the story of where the golem comes from to fully come out. We can give you.
Doesn't have to be where he comes from, but who is he? What is he about? What's his?
Yakashka is a golem. He is a golem. You know what a golem is?
Isn't it like a warrior that you can put a spirit into to inhabit it? It's basically a vessel.
I thought he was like one of the characters from Lord of the Rings.
No, because that's Gollum. That's Gollum, not a Gollum. A Gollum and the.
All right, so
precious, very different.
I'm sorry, I don't believe in any of that stuff. So I mean, it was kind of hard for me to follow any of it.
But I've seen it.
I'm about to get. Hold on.
If y'all gonna go off into this, I'll.
All right.
How you gonna ask me a question and then dip? I was gonna explain, but okay.
I was asking. Well, I guess he was asking what about this too.
Let's take a look at the word golem real quick. All right. Jewish folklore says that a golem is an inanimate object that a creator breathes life into. Or a magician breathes life to create as a companion or a helper. So let's take that concept and let's play with the perception of that. When you create a persona, you create a golem. Like, hear me out on this. My name is not my legal name that I was born in, is on all my legal documents, is not Max. I've gotten to the point with Max where like Max has became a flesh and blood person, a personality. Like at one of my jobs, all of my paperwork said Max. My safe code and my alarm code at that job was in the name of Max. Like when I did my computer work, everything said Max. My schedule, when I was on the schedule, it said Max. You know what I mean? So like in a symbolic way, Yakashka is an extension of that same act. Where the name Yakashka comes from, it's been around for a while. It's been around for a long while. Hi, Scott.
If y'all check the private chat, y'all know where it went.
Mm-hmm. You rage quit on me. I see.
He announced his departure before he left, and then he explained it in depth in private chat.
I didn't have the chat windows up. I had it collapsed, so none of the like chat windows or comment windows was up at all.
No, and I get that because like when it comes to Jackie, like Jackie's not my real name, but like there's a lot of places that I go to, like when I go out 4x4ing and stuff like that. I'm Jackie, right? When I'm online, I'm Jackie. Certain people, even when they see me in real life, they still call me Jackie because that's who they see me as. They don't see me as Marissa. When people hear that my name is Marissa, their brain just has like a shutdown. Because they don't think that it's me. It's like because you've never met her. And she had no
Your
control
name is
over
Marissa?
her. Yes.
I'm dead right now. I'm dead right now. That just tickled me.
Yeah, like it's not Jackie. Jackie Hyde is somebody I created at a time in my life when I needed somebody else to be.
The last Marissa I met got named in my lawsuit for Taco Bell.
Sorry. All right. So if everybody must know, I've been here the entire time. I had a set of VU meters that decided to like slowly die off until they stopped working, until I could figure out what was going on. Everything's fine. They just decided to quit working. No idea what happened there, but everything is running. So
we're
whatever.
Back streaming in a whole lot of watts.
Oh no, I mean we never stopped. That's the thing. We didn't stop. It just the 2 channel VU meters for that particular channel just died out.
Oh wow.
But I've been having problems since yesterday. That's why my camera's where it's at. Because one of the cats came in here and knocked everything down, which broke the camera off of the top of the mount where it was, and now it's just sitting on my desk in front of me.
Pretty on par for a cat.
Animals.
But honestly, Max, if it makes you feel any better, I'm Marissa spelt right with only 1 S, not 2.
No, we spell it with.
I've never seen it spelled with 1 S.
Yep,
no, we spell it with 17
doesn't have any
S's,
extra letters for any reason. Like we've eliminated that.
Oh, Ruth. Hi, Miss Ruth.
Hello.
Tell William I did see his message. I can't answer him right now because obviously I'm busy. So.
But yes, so back to your golem.
But with a former group of associates I was hanging around, he was sitting there just over there all lonely, just kind of sitting in a corner. So one day I kind of just was like, hey, let me take the alien with me. And we've been attached at the hip since. And after having him for a while, I decided that was when I made the decision to rename him and kind of move forward with creating more of a golem.
He's a great addition. He's a great addition.
Oh, yeah.
The kitten is wonderful. She is terrorizing the rest of the cats as we speak, but she's doing well. She didn't technically rescue. She just snatched her off the porch one day because she was the smallest kitten and felt bad for her. So that's how that happens. Thank you, Miss Ruth. I appreciate that. Jackie, why are you at the bottom? This is your show. What the hell?
Yeah, why
Get up
am
here.
I? Yeah. Thank you, Scott.
Yeah.
Because
wrong with you?
I'm comfortable down there.
Actually, no. Actually, you're supposed to be over here. There we go. Now we got it fixed.
No, because that looks like...
No. Front and center. No.
That's not front and center. That's why I had myself at the bottom. Front and center.
I can make it front and center. Keep fighting with me.
I will leave my own live stream. I'm going to give the alien his own camera box and put him up at the top.
No, you see that he's got him blurred out for some reason because Max doesn't want him to look clear in anybody's eyes because if he was clear, then
I just like the little fish eye camera angle that's on my computer.
She didn't abduct the cat. I mean, the cat was literally the smallest one out of all of them. It was the runt. So, the mama cat and all that was being mean to it. So she just snatched it off the porch and brought it inside.
Okay.
And, yeah, I mean...
So she adopted the new kitty.
She adopted.
She forcefully adopted the kitty. It's fine.
Forcibly adopted. I'm dead.
Forcibly adopted the cat. Yeah, there you go.
Right? I've forcibly adopted an animal before.
She was feeding him one afternoon and she was petting the cat and she was like, you know what? I'm going to bring you inside. And then next thing I knew, 2 days later, the cat was completely tame, which I've never seen a kitten tame that fast before. That cat wanted to be in here.
So I watched this video the other day and it melted my heart because this family worked for 3 months at this dump. They didn't work there, but they went there one day and they saw this scraggly dog hanging around the dump. They went back. This guy went back every single day for 3 months until he earned the dog's trust, and the dog actually willingly got into the truck and drove off with them. They took the dog. They just bribed it for 3 months with food.
Hey, that is awesome. Anybody that takes on an animal that didn't belong to them in the first place, then yeah.
And if you put the effort in to actually earn the trust so that you don't have to just be like, I'm going to take you, and you have to pick it up and force it inside, then that says a lot more about you as a person. No, it was not a 3-legged dog, Hoey. What are you smoking, Ruth? What does Yakashka prefer? Does he smoke? Does he partake?
Oh, you live in a different country.
Do a zebra got stripes?
Why would you ask this? You live in a completely different country. Not even in the same country.
Maybe he wanted to know if there were 3-legged dogs around.
Do y'all have 3-legged dogs in your dump, Miss Hyde?
Not usually. Dogs in the dump.
That did not sound right. I'm sorry. That did not sound right at all. Miss Hyde, in your dump, do you have 3? Jesus.
Skywalker, maybe.
I'm not saying they don't have 3-legged dogs in Canada. I'm talking about in the one that you saw is not the same freaking dog. Come on now.
He knows it's not the same dog. He didn't say it was. Then was it? I always see them. So he's wondering if the same. But no, it was a pit bull.
Let me make fun of Hoey.
Listen, I have an unhealthy problem with defending Hoey lately.
Unhealthy.
It's not good for your health to defend him. I'm just saying that right now.
It's unhealthy.
Unhealthy obsession with defending Hoey.
You go out there and you're like, no, he's not bad. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you just make him. He's Hoey.
It's Hoey. Yeah, Hoey's misunderstood because Hoey purposely is misunderstood. He purposely misunderstands himself. It's a full-time job.
Though, it really is. You just go and take a peek somewhere, and there's Hoey doing Hoey things out of nowhere, and you're just like, I almost muted him one day on my newsfeed.
Why did you mute him?
I almost did. I didn't, because it was kind of funny, but at the same time, it was just like
just Hoey things, you know.
The bipolar is real at times.
She said the bipolar is real.
Sometimes, not all the time, but then there's me.
The bipolar is all the time. Oh wait, no, that's me. Never mind.
So I do the multi thing, and I see somebody defending me, and I walk right in there and just go, no, you're wrong. They're right. I'm trash. I'm a walking trash bag with a mouth. It's fine. I'm okay with it.
It pretty much sounds like how I describe myself. A walking trash bag with a mouth.
It's okay. I always tell people that's past Jackie. Current Jackie can't be held responsibility for past Jackie's actions because that girl's already gone on vacation. Like, I'd be doing that, just like putting myself on a mental vacation. I'll just be sitting there chilling out and just see you later. I'm going somewhere else. I don't want to be here right now.
Oh yeah, we do that all the time. Don't we?
Like, people look at me and they're just like, "You okay?" I'm like, I'm fine. What are you thinking about? Nothing. Don't worry about it. Meanwhile, my poor friend thinks I work too much, and she's like, I'm gonna call in a bomb threat, because I always tell my friends that when they don't want to be at work. I'm like, I'll call in a bomb threat. But I work in the oil and gas industry, so I'm like, I have a new thought process for the rest of the day.
Yeah, so I see a comment.
It really isn't, but people that have it, we live in joke land. Dark jokes are our favorite.
Yeah. I've learned, I don't know, dealing with the label of that, dealing with that label and a couple other labels during my lifetime, I've learned that a lot of things get kind of grouped in and just being dropped as bipolar, that a lot of times may or may not be bipolar.
See, I've never taken the labels. I've taken the diagnoses as a child, and then again as a teen, and then reassessed again as a young adult. I let them have their thing with it, but at the end of the day, I feel like those mental health labels haven't changed from when they were first ever derived and brought up and brought out to be, as a way to control people and get them into a certain linear thought process. It was a very slow climb to taking away and really hammering down on those differences in people. Because when you get people that are different, they, in a way, to people in power, they're, what do you call it? They're a weak spot. They can hurt them.
It took me a long time to kind of really realize that. Like, dealing with a lifetime of that, I got to the point where I just ignored it. I didn't give two craps what they said, and really just like, all right, I got to deal with this because I'm mandated to deal with it, and that's all you get. And I really didn't listen to nothing nobody told me. It took me a lot of trial and error to kind of figure out, like, oh, hey, here, this is not the way I'm perceiving it. And it really took me learning a lot about autism to really kind of get the pieces to fall into place.
See, I went through a complete fit because in my childhood I was forced to go through therapy and forced to go through all of it because I was a foster child for most of my childhood. So the government made those requirements.
Oh, yes, same here. Hey, Hoey.
Pick you up and drive you there. So I went through, when I realized, and I had it explained to me by another girl when I got put into a juvenile center for a week, It explained to me that you can actually change your therapist. And when I was young and I finally found out that you don't have to just take the one you're assigned, I really took that and ran with it. And I treated it like shoes. I tried on every single pair until I found one that did slightly different practicing to really get to the root of your thought processes. He didn't hang on the, oh, you're this, you're this, you're this. You know, you need this pill for this, and this pill's going to cause this, so you're going to need that pill to counter it out so that you stop being depressed. It came out with there is a part in your brain where if you reach it, and me and you work together to reach it, we can actually change it. So that no longer becomes a trauma response. It no longer becomes a trigger response. And he worked with me realizing that I was more into the metaphysical world. That's where I dabbled more. And this was when I was like 15, 16. So I dived into that and I started taking psychology in high school and anthropology to work with it. So when you learn about the histories of where they started coming up with these medications, his way of doing therapy felt more normal. And I was able to actually get somewhere with an understanding that with that, you still have to go outside. Okay. He always reminded me of that. So we would actually do sessions outside or at the coffee shop.
Yeah, see, I didn't catch on till later years. The younger years, I was a total opposite of Hoey. I made it a game with myself to mind fuck the doctors before they could think they were mind fucking me. I made it
Max.
a game with myself. Oh,
Max.
yeah.
Okay.
I know I caught it. But I made it a game to play back.
Catching it after the fact does not matter, okay, sir?
We've been doing good, Scott. Damn.
But no, like, I made it a game, like, oh, yeah. But on my end, it probably came because I didn't deal with therapists or medications by choice. Like, my mom was weird. She went through the whole, oh, yeah, I'm calling the police on you. When you go to court, I'm going to make them court order you to do this crap. I'm going to make them court order you to take these medications. So like, I spent my kid years learning how to buck the system.
That's what they taught me when I learned that I could control it. I don't have to see who you want me to see. I can find somebody that'll think like me and work with me so that we can get through this and get it done. Because as much as people want to crap on therapy, if you find the right fit, like, I'm not anti-therapist. I'm not anti-medications, because some people, and we've all seen those people, they freaking need it. Like, it actually does work for them. Okay, the guy that cut the other guy's head off with a screwdriver on the Greyhound in Canada, yeah, that was because he missed his meds.
I think it's pretty amazing that he was able to cut someone's head off with a screwdriver.
He was from
just saying.
Unfortunately, Hoey, even if I told them what they wanted to hear, I found myself right back in court for something else. Like, my mom would say things to me like, oh, you don't like the rules in my house, get out. Oh, I took that literally. What? You ain't got to tell me twice, I'm gone. Next thing I know, she had called the police and said I ran away. I'd play a game of cat and mouse. Mate, no, buddy. It would never like that. Like, it was weird. Like, I remember there was a point in time where, like, I would purposely run away and stay gone for like 2 weeks just so I knew there was a warrant out for my arrest. And then go turn myself in begging them, please don't send me back to my mom's house. And they would call good old Sandy Sue right up, like, come get your son.
Hey, when I was young, I did a lot of silly things. Most of the times, the cops let me off because of some of the things I'd gotten into, and I'm from a small town, so there was a couple of times the cops picked me up. And I had ID at the time. Like I had a learner's permit and a driver's license a few times when they picked me up. So they'd look at my name and they'd be like, would your dad be proud of you right now? And I'd be like, and they would just take me home and they would drop me off. They'd be like, I'm going to do you a favor. I'm not going to buzz and wake up your foster mom. I'm just going to watch you go in the door. And I'm like, that?
Yeah.
I got off
didn't
with
have
a
that
lot of
experience.
stuff for a while. And I would push it and push it and push it sometimes because, man, boundaries are only there to be pushed and laws are meant to be broken. They're just meant to keep you in line.
Hoey? Where did you live at that time? Because that is a hell of a drive from where you currently live.
Oh, man.
Like, I drove 3 days when the last time I ran away.
The car didn't make it back, he said.
Oh, yeah, see, I ain't do stuff like that. I just ran away because, like, I knew,
my
like,
dad,
if I'd have took my mom's car, she'd have tried to kill me.
you see me, I would have been begging my dad to just, like, throw me under the, like, just, I'd have been begging the police to put me in prison. Because I wouldn't want to have faced my dad at that point. Not at all. All right.
I mean, I could see that though when you develop a relationship, even with them, like, because certain cultures do believe that when you hear voices, or when you have multiple personality disorder or borderline personality disorder, it's just other spirits. Like you actually are one of those lucky few that has more than one beings inside of you. And that's why you'll even get like memories and stuff like that of other times, and it can actually start to get blurred together at times. But there is belief systems that believe that, and I would believe that's a thing, 100%.
I'm sorry. I'm just sitting here watching my camera freak out.
What, Mac?
You got a great thought process. So consider this. Consider the you that's aware and cognizant, or whatever the freaking word is. What if you're non-local?
What do you mean? Sorry, local or loco?
Non-local, like, you know what non-locality is, right?
Non-local.
That's what
like
I said.
Not locally from that area. Yeah, but she couldn't hear you for some reason.
What would your locality have to do?
Like if you get in trouble in another state and your parents are in another state.
So non-locality, right?
I think he means something different.
I have no idea.
Watch this. Non-locality. All right. See, now I got to let my nerdness shine through real quick. I don't like this. All right. So, like, when you when you look at like quantum physics, now, not double slit experiment. I mean, they've proven that particles can interact over vast distances, right? Non-locality.
Yeah, okay, that's what I kind of thought, but I was like, I've been caught with that before, where I've thought I've known something and I have a completely different.
Yeah, I don't know. You hit on some subjects that eventually I'm gonna talk about once I find the right words for them. But like, consider
people
that
always pick on my word choices too, so that's why sometimes
like, if you take non-locality into account, right? Then if it's possible for you to be here and at the same time be in a type of existence that involves non-locality, how many other awarenesses would have that ability to project into that same point?
You want to hear an interesting salvia story?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I would think I was about 15, 16. I was in early high school. And I bought salvia and I went out with my friends and we each took turns because we always like to observe the other person so we could tell them what we saw and find out what was going on with them. It was just a very interesting experiment we loved doing. And when I went through mine, all they saw was me get in a car, get out of the car, walk, and come back in. And I did this about 5 times. But what I was going through is I had met 5 different versions of myself and had conversations and sent them on their way. Like I literally, like it was a wild thing to hear somebody else looking at me and telling me where they came from and why they're leaving now and what they had to play with me, right? Like what role they had to play in my life. And it made sense to certain aspects on how I would react at certain points, what I would do certain days, and how just even my routine being off could change everything. And they helped really bring that in. But yeah, it was an interesting salvia experience.
So I've never tried salvia. Thus forth with psychedelics, I've been limited to trying. I've only tried DMT. I've did obviously mushrooms and acid.
I have never done DMT yet, and it's one of my things I really need and want to do.
It is definitely an intense feeling, but for me, it is definitely something that's more of a tease.
Salvia like that. 15 minutes and you're sober.
Well, I'm honestly more interested in ayahuasca. Like, I would be more interested in the ayahuasca experience.
I got told not to try it. Apparently, it's not worth it. But then I've also had reviews of if you're into finding out about yourself, definitely take it.
And something like that, you definitely want somebody that understands and knows what they're doing. Gotta be there with you. Like, that is definitely a crazy journey. So I went through, I guess I went through like my first couple rounds of self-experiment with psychedelics. Like this one time I was at a party and I was dropping hits of acid and eating crazy amounts of mushrooms. Like I honestly probably ate close to a half ounce of mushrooms at night, and I probably dropped about 10 tabs of acid.
Damn. You were looking for full-blown takeoff outer space.
Yes and no. As I said, I've been doing a self-experimentation, so I haven't been actively doing it for right now because I'm not in the position to, but there were things I was playing with. So that specific night, I had the trippiest experience. I'm downstairs in the basement. We're at a party, you know what I mean? Like, I'm DJing downstairs in the basement. All of a sudden, I am standing upstairs in the kitchen with a group of people that that's here that I know, and we're all just smoking a blunt, having a full-blown conversation. I am mid-hit on the blunt, and like, I remember saying, oh shit, the next song, I got to make that blend. And the next thing my next perception is I'm down. Like, it was like, whoa, crap. Like, it threw me off for a second because I was in the kitchen. We were having a conversation. Like, I didn't walk. So I definitely want to try ayahuasca because I want to go for that experience times 1,000.
Every time I've had my hallucinogenic situations, most of them, I didn't get past mild. The reoccurring one, and this one made me do a lot of self journey in my own spirituality because of the frequency of it. But it almost seemed like I regularly saw words written in the ground or in nature, like in the trees, like the bark would turn into like almost like Latin words, just stretching out throughout it. It almost looked like it. And it was just a reoccurring one all the time. And it would either be a lot of time issues, like time slowing down, like me slowing down the trip, the way that I would walk, like it would just control that situation. And it never really went past that. So I never got like, so many people talk about seeing dragons or something like that. And I'm like, I have never had that.
So with some people, what it is they take enough to blast them off. I was the type of person, when doing psychedelics, there were multiple experiments I was running at once. So one experiment, what in the heck is that?
I can't read that.
Hold on. I gotta make
this is that crap that I've had to drink for this thing tomorrow.
Oh. Ooh.
This is literally Satan's butthole in a bottle. I don't care what anybody says about this crap. It will never taste good. If y'all look at the private chat, that's where I was. I had to go take this crap. So it took me a second to get back to normal before I could come back. But anyway, psychedelics are fun.
They are.
They really are.
So when I started with the experiment with them, one of my first guide points was something that somebody had passed along to me. And the information that they gave me was honestly anything that is made in a lab setting, anything that's a psychedelic that does not come from nature, it is going to link you to man-made states of consciousness. To put it in simple terms, some people
it's just like acid.
Some people will call it. Like different names. Like some people say the Matrix. Some people say the false creation. Like it's a bunch of different terms, basically saying the same thing. And that was something I was playing with because I would notice, like, okay, I would notice. There was a difference in like how I would feel when I took acid and a difference in how I would feel when I took mushrooms.
Oh, absolutely. They're completely different.
So now at the same time that I was doing that, like kind of back and forth, and I would run the gauntlet. Sometimes I would take the psychedelic trip on acid because I had like kind of indicators that I would look for. And those would be like, okay, this ain't what I'm trying to go for. So this isn't working the way I wanted to. So let me boom. And sometimes I would use mushrooms. But either way, both times it was also with the comprehension that for real, one thing that psychedelics does is it actually enables effects that occur naturally in our bodies. That experience is something that we are naturally able to have happen. We just don't understand how to make that happen.
Jackie, I think the only bad trip I ever had was whenever they used to have these teen clubs whenever I was young, like a teenager, where all the teens would go hang out because we weren't allowed in regular bars. And we were at one of those places one day, and one of these guys had a bunch of hits of acid and gave me one, and I melted to the floor while I was standing in the corner. And I couldn't move from where I was. And it was the worst feeling ever. I needed help that night.
Yeah, I've had a couple of them. Like I've been in situations where I've been out performing, going off of psychedelics, and that is a trippy experience because that takes music to like level 1,000,000.
Y'all gonna judge
Jackie,
me?
what is your strain of the week this week?
Legendary Larry.
And what's it all about? What does it taste like? Is it good? Is it? And you didn't show us the new hair color.
I didn't get to do it because I didn't have time.
Oh, well, and that's my fault. How?
It's not, but I'm just saying I rushed already as it was, and I was already in trouble.
Oh.
So.
Like Max?
Yeah, it's an indica stream. It's just a cheap one because I'm a broke bitch right now.
It doesn't. Cheap weed could be just as good as expensive weed.
Actually, right? It is really good because it, like the last 2 nights I've been smoking it, it helps put my ass to sleep by the end of the night.
So it's a good sativa, is what you're saying.
No, it's an indica.
I mean, yeah, it's an indica. That's what I meant. I'm sorry.
That's also probably the extra large coffee I decided to drink at night with my weed, so it just...
So it makes it like a hybrid instead of a sativa.
But it tastes really bland. However, I did get, and I'm really irritated with the new weed system, okay? They took away plastic bags, plastic forks, all this crap. Like, all we get is wooden forks and knives at takeout now, and no plastic bags anymore.
So you're going to get splinters in your mouth trying to eat your food.
Yeah.
So you go from one damaging thing to the environment to another.
We're not allowed to have plastic straws, but they still have plastic lids. But no plastic straws, so you get a freaking paper straw that disintegrates in your pop.
I'm so glad I don't live in Canada or California.
Okay, but I bought a doobie, and it was a groovy grape blunt. Fucking thing was amazing. But look at the size of this, and it was for one blunt that was like this big, and it barely took up the circumference of it. Okay, and it's plastic.
You killed Max.
Okay, but this is legal. Go government of Canada. Okay, and so this boat, there's these boats up in the BC coast, and during COVID, they lost a lot of their clientele because they're a tourism company, right? So you can rent their boats, and the captains, they'll take you around to Fino and all that. So they lost all their clientele, so they decided to do ocean cleanup. Plastic bags made up less than 2% of the garbage they picked up. 42% of the garbage they pick up is ropes and tethers and nets.
Speaking of marijuana, I know Toledo just opened a dispensary, but at this time I am not interested in shopping in Ohio for my marijuana products. I do not feel like Ohio has the bar ready yet.
That's why I'm looking forward to moving to New York, because
turtles are big.
It's legal there, and they have some like really nice dispensaries over there in the Indian reservation.
Yes,
I know there are plenty of
ones.
There are plenty of them like going in Michigan. Like if you're ever through Michigan, bud, there's plenty of dispos up there.
I don't think I'd ever get lost enough to be going through Michigan. At any way, shape, or form.
You know, hey. So it's funny.
I mean, that would be that would be just as bad as me wanting to move to California. If you ever hear me say something like that, just go ahead and shoot me right there.
So
I'd be asking how big her tits are.
So wow.
Wait,
so
what?
Wait a minute. Yeah, wait a minute. What? Hold on.
Wait, what? How big? Who's? What? Where? Who? Why? When? Where? How?
Carry on.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Yeah. So I'm going to just go back to what I was saying. So living in Toledo, Ohio, like I've said before, it's a city here that's really on the Michigan-Ohio border. Like it really is. So like for most of my life, I didn't like Michigan up until like I started going to the dispos and music came along. Now I like Michigan.
Read this comment. See, this is why you're not allowed to drink anymore, right here.
So listen. Indiana,
this one comment right here on my screen.
Listen, I'll tell y'all the truth. The last trip from Milwaukee, dead honest, I got lost in. I think I owe either Indiana or Illinois some money for the toll pike.
I mean, if you're not going back over there, then who cares?
I'm going to. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm thinking about like next trip I'm flying, and that was a lot of driving.
I mean, that's just like I told on one of the live streams. I know we rented a truck to go to Grand Isle here, and there's that toll bridge. I'm pretty sure that rental company was pretty aggravated with me having to pay all those tolls that weekend because I didn't pay for the first one.
I know a trip out to the state of Washington is on my itinerary, and I know for that when I'm flying, I'm not driving all the way out to Washington. Ain't happening.
I mean, it's no different than the tax on tobacco, really. 60%.
You know what? I do gotta say the dispensary weed up here, the pricing is quite well done. Depending on what you want to buy, where you're buying it from, it's well done. Like it's almost more cost effective if you start smoking a little less. Actually, you start buying weed and not cigarettes, because cigarettes are like now over $20 a pack, even for the cheap ones.
Wow.
I don't even want to know what a pack of Newports costs up there. I don't even want to ask.
Oh, about
They sell
$35.
camels. They sell camels up here, and those are going for $21.25.
Oh, wait a minute. I forgot. That's right. I can't get, I'm never coming to Canada. I can't get Newports in Canada. Didn't y'all quit? You said y'all quit selling menthol, right?
Yep.
Hold on.
And you know,
It's
I just had to
enticing
quit
to
smoking
children.
because
Yet,
all of this crap
yet
that I'm
you can
going
have
through.
flavored
Oh, my
vapes.
bad.
Okay. No flavored cigarettes, but you can have flavored vapes.
Man, listen. I don't know what they thinking up there, but like I know every black person is mad about that. I
It's
will
Canada. There's no black people up there.
man. It's
It's
some up
all
there. We everywhere.
it's all Inuits and white people. There's
We
no black
everywhere.
people in Canada.
Look,
There is.
I'll tell you one thing. Anytime I go to a store and I ask for cigarettes, when they get to trying to play funny with me and ask me if I want a pack of Newport Reds, I look at them with a dead serious face and say this: when it comes to my cigarettes, feel free to stereotype me.
No, we have a whole section of Edmonton called Rolls
Scott, why you hide your face, Scott?
I'm not hiding my face. It's just
But look, I'm dead honest when it comes
I
to my cigarettes.
stereotype you like 5 or 6 times a week already, as it is.
When it comes to my
I mean, come
cigarettes,
on.
stereotype me. Don't give me a pack of Newport Reds. I will feel offended.
Do not loop our French people in with the France people because France gets really mad about that. When Quebec started talking about leaving Canada, they did try to get France to back them up, and France wants nothing to do with Quebec. Like nothing. The Quebecois French is insulting to the French.
The French hit Quebec with that meme where it was like, on behalf of all of the races, we detonate this person to this race.
Is that about the Olympic break dancer, or is that about the boxer?
It's been about a lot of things.
Man, that breakdance girl, I've been dying laughing. She released an apology video crying because she felt so bad because her breakdancing was so bad. If you haven't seen the Ray Gun breakdance video, you need to watch it because, man, it is great. And it is starting to clear out the he who shall not be named.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them.
The spit on that.
Oh, wow.
Haley Welsh.
Yes.
Oh.
It's starting to take over her crap finally, the breakdancing girl. Because it is bad. It is really bad. She apparently has a PhD in breakdance culture.
Yeah, she needs to quit.
Just because she could read the books don't mean she got rhythm.
She's
Well,
a
you never heard that old
teacher.
adage, those who can't do, teach?
Yeah, and she
needs to stick to teaching.
she was the main for the Australia team. There's a lot that came out about that.
That is like, Scott, you're right. That is the dumbest saying ever. How the heck are you teaching it if you can't do it?
Okay, but you see what Hoey just commented right here, that boxer, that the man, woman,
Logan Paul's
whatever.
not even a boxer. He's a wannabe boxer.
Well, it's okay, but here's the thing. The only way she, he, them, they, whatever the hell it is going to win that lawsuit is by taking a chromosome test to prove what he said is being false. That's it.
However, the actual boxing committee came out and said that they did do the test, and that's why she wasn't allowed to participate because it showed XY chromosomes.
Okay, well then she's a guy.
Okay, so hold on. I didn't even follow the Olympics, so I'm guessing
if it's XY, she's a guy, plain and simple.
They said it was because of she said it was because of high testosterone levels.
No. If they did a chromosomal test and she showed up as an XY, then she's a guy. She's a guy. But I don't care how many surgeries she's had or it's had or he's had. It's a guy. Plain and simple. Sorry.
I
don't make the rules. I mean, biology literally makes those rules.
Yep.
Logan
Just
Paul
because the IOC, Yeah, but just because the IOC panel at the Olympics wants to be woke or whatever the hell they want to call themselves.
Logan Paul should have never even agreed to that fight. I'm gonna be honest. Let's say
we're talking about the Olympic fighter that's actually a guy and claims to be a woman that beat the crap out of another woman, an actual woman.
But apparently, because she lost to 3 other girls that were Chinese, I believe, that should say enough that she's qualified to fight against women. If she was undefeated,
then I'll tell you what. I'll go out. I'll say this. Until she can prove she's a woman to me, I will say whatever the hell I want. Okay?
I'm just going to say
I think she looks like a guy, and if Algeria says she has XY chromosomes and she couldn't compete in her home country because of that, then she's a freaking guy.
That's a guy that really has that I like to beat on women problem because I can't fight men.
Exactly.
Like,
Logan Paul's been moving tweets.
He must have spent his whole life getting beat up and decided he was going to get a sex change and be a new person.
Oh, Jake Paul is the one trying to fight Tyson, not Logan Paul.
I don't care for either one of them. They were both YouTube idiots forever. Once their YouTube money started running out, they decided to go into boxing and WWE.
All I'm going to say is, that dude got some screws loose. Tyson might be old, but I bet you that old summer gun can still hit hard.
I'm just saying, South Park was not wrong about that guy. He targets children for a reason.
Who?
Logan Paul.
No, that wasn't Paul. That was Mr. Beast's guy. Or girl. Or whatever she was calling it itself.
I'm sorry, you just got to be halfway retarded.
No, but they were making fun of. They made fun of Prime as well. They made fun of Prime by turning it into cred. I've got cred.
Oh yeah. No, all that's stupid. If you follow any of that garbage, you're one of the you people that I talked about a while back.
I love South Park. Leave it alone.
No. I'm not talking about South Park. I'm talking about like if you follow Logan or Jake Paul and you consider yourself a normal person, then just go ahead and drive off a cliff.
He said drive off a cliff.
Yeah, I'm starting my car. Just kidding.
I know better than that from you, Jackie. Hoey says I wouldn't fight Tyson if he was in a wheelchair.
Okay, so
I didn't see what happened when Tyson getting to be a sore loser. I'm sorry, I don't want that man biting me.
Max says he likes both of his ears exactly where they are.
Well, I don't want to look like a pit bull.
Jesus, cropped. Max doesn't want to be cropped.
But then you would look like a beautiful cane corso.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, I don't want to look like a dog. I've already had the experience of being in a cage like a dog. I don't want to look like a dog.
Jackie?
No, I don't do it. That's your job.
No, it's not my job. I did the intro. You do the outro on your own show. Oh, no, your phone cut out. That's not fair. You have to redo it.
All right, everybody. Thanks for coming and getting high with us. Next time, leave your guys' stoner stories and your psychedelic stories in the comments and share it. And we'd like to thank our lovely Max and Yakashka for coming and for letting us know a little bit more about the alien finally. And thanks, Scott, for coming in and being here and taking care of everything for us and for not doing my outro and making it super lame now. So we'll see you guys all next Sunday. Stay high.
The revelation.